Rodrigo is going to talk to you for a second, and then we're going to take a few questions. People that want to ask a question, you can raise your hand after he speaks.
What's up, guys? You guys had fun today? Yeah. Good. That's awesome. That's very important. Something that, you know, whether you're kicking or whether you're playing another position, whatever you do, the most important thing when you're playing football is you need to have fun. That's something that I think a lot of guys kind of lose track of. They're not having fun with it, and at the end of the day, it's a game, and so you need to make sure that no matter what you're doing with the sport, make sure that you're having fun with it, because at the end of the day, if you're having fun, you can do some really cool things. I guess I'll just talk a little bit about my story for anyone that doesn't know. This is my high school, Sprayberry High School. This is where I went to high school. This is where I kind of started to get recruited and stuff. I started kicking when I was really young. I started kicking when I was in like 4th grade. So how many of you guys are 4th grade or older? There you go. So, I was your guys' age when I started. I started kicking really young, and it kind of helped me to get a head start on some of my competition. So I started kicking at a really young age and started going to get coaching and started going to get training. Started getting coached up by my dad and by Coach McCabe, who some of you guys I'm sure met today when you were going around in your circuit. So I started getting coached up when I was really young. And so if you guys want to, be serious about kicking and you want to try and go forward with it, then you need to start getting coached up, and so I would recommend you guys start looking around and trying to get some coaching in. You're never too early to start, and the sooner you get started, the sooner you're going to get good. So I started kicking really young at a really young age, and went through high school and had some great times here at Sprayberry and did some awesome things, and eventually went to the University of Georgia. I walked on there, and I'll tell you guys right now, I know that you guys all probably have dreams of getting a scholarship to go play football somewhere, and always follow your dreams and always pursue that. But if you get a walk-on offer to go somewhere, it's not the end of the world. I went to the University of Georgia and was a walk-on there for 2 years. And then going into my 3rd year, right before we played Notre Dame up in South Bend, Indiana, Coach Mark gave me a scholarship. And that was one of the most amazing moments of my life, and was just kind of proof of all the hard work that I had done, when I started off super young like you guys. So, always pursue your dreams. If you want to do something with your life and you have great people around you, pursue those dreams with all your heart, and hopefully they're going to pay off for you. I think you guys have probably seen whatever I've done at the University of Georgia since then, so I won't go into that too much. But since I finished playing at the University of Georgia, I actually just got back from the NFL Combine last week. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Just got back from being in front of all the special teams coaches from every NFL team that's out there right now, and I'm really trying to play in the NFL. And if you guys have dreams and want to do that, then I would say continue to pursue it and work as hard as you can to make that dream come true, and hopefully things are going to work out for you. So that's just a little bit about where I am right now, a little bit about my story, and if you guys have questions, I'm open to anything.
3 questions. We're going to take a minute. When I point to you, stand up and ask your question loud so everybody can hear.
Okay.
You just throw them out.
Okay. How did it feel to win the Luke Johnson Award? And when Brian Harrigan let you break the G-Day banner for the last game, how was that?
Okay, so winning the Lou Groza. Who knows what the Lou Groza Award is? Most of you? Okay. So the Lou Groza Award is given out to the best kicker in college football every year. And this past year I won the Lou Groza Award. It was very special. It was a very special moment for me to win the Lou Groza. No kicker at the University of Georgia has ever won it before. So that was really, really special for me, and it was really special for the University of Georgia because we've had a lot of really good kickers that have come through. So it was a very special moment for me, and was kind of confirmation that hard work was paying off and that I was doing some really good things. As far as breaking the banner goes, when I was at Sprayberry, we would set the banner up right over there. We had our locker room that was under the stadium over there, and the banner would be set up right over there through those doors, and we would bust through and come out right on the 50 right here. And so when I was in high school, and you know, I was one of the more popular guys on the team, I would always come through the banner first. But when I got to University of Georgia and I walked on, and you know, being a kicker, I wasn't one of the more popular guys, so I never really got to break the banner at the University of Georgia until senior night when we played Texas A&M, and you know, I talked to Brian Herrion because he was always the first guy to come through, and I asked him if you know, he would let me do it, and he said, absolutely, I'll clear the way for you. And so, you know, Brian is an amazing teammate. Brian Herrion was also at the combine, and so he's trying to make a team right now too. So he's been a great teammate, and you know, that was just a really awesome moment for me to get to come through the banner first and just lead the team out onto the field.
Under pressure on the Notre Dame game, compared to the South Carolina game, how do you feel about getting under pressure, and how do you think you can like go through it in the NFL?
So, South Carolina. Where do we start? How many of you guys watched the South Carolina game? Everybody. You were there. No hard feelings. I had a lot of you kids come through and tell me your parents got really mad when I missed that game. Moms, dads, I got it out for you. So, South Carolina game was not my best game, and like I said, I just got back from the NFL Combine, and literally every special teams coordinator from every team that I talked to asked me about the South Carolina game. And so I've had to relive probably the worst moment of my career about 32 times in the last week. And it's not fun. But being a kicker, being a punter, being a quarterback, you know, any position really, it's you're gonna have bad days. Bad days happen. That was not a great day for me, and it came at a really bad time when our team really needed me to be better. But that's just the way it goes sometimes. You know, regardless of what position you play, you're gonna have adversity, and you're gonna have struggles, and you're gonna have stuff that doesn't go your way. And it's not that moment, it's not that bad game that defines you as a performer. It's how you respond to it, and it's your body of work over an extended period of time that's going to define who you are and what people think of you. I think if I didn't respond to that kick the right way, I wouldn't be in the position that I'm in right now. If I had let that kick affect me in a negative way, and you know, I didn't perform well the rest of the season, I may not have been invited to the combine. I may not be in front of you guys right now. So I think it's how you respond to that adversity and how you handle it that's going to determine what you're going to be. You know, everyone wants to ask about the South Carolina game because it was one of my worst games, but no one wants to think about the fact that 2 weeks later I went 3 for 3 against Florida and was SEC Player of the Week. And so that's how I responded to it. That's how I responded to the adversity, and that's what kind of allowed me to get back on track the rest of the season. So, you know, you're going to have bad games, and you just have to handle it the same way you handle any game. That's what I've always had to do, whether I have a good game or a bad game, or whether you know, it's just kind of a so-so game. Whatever the case may be, I have to handle it and evaluate it the exact same way. And then when we get ready to play your opponent the next week, you got to wipe it clean and start over and start fresh. You know, the season didn't stop at South Carolina. We still had 7, 8 more games to play. So you have to put it behind you. You just kind of have to flush it, and from there, do your best to move on and be better going forward. Now, of course, no one's going to let me live it down for the rest of my life, so it's going to be a lot harder for other people to flush it. But you know, for me, that's the kind of the process I had to go through, where I treat it the exact same way I would have treated a good game, and that's what kind of allows me to be consistent, and that's what allowed me to get back on track going forward. So, you know, that's what I would say to you. How you respond to the adversity and how you respond to those tough times is what's going to allow you to be successful.
All right, last question. Right here with the glasses. Stand up.
How did you feel when you lost against the LSU?
How did I feel when we lost to LSU? So LSU was another not great game. I think that those were probably the two worst games that I personally played and that our team played this season. I'm sure moms and dads would agree that our team did not really play well. However, LSU was the best team in the country this year, and I think that they proved that beyond a reasonable doubt throughout the course of the season. And you know, it was very sad. A lot of us were very upset and very disappointed and very frustrated at the end of that game. But I think at the end of the day, you know, they proved that they were the best team. And you know, I think that we did everything that we could to prepare for that game. But at the end of the day, I think that they were just a better team. And I don't think there was anybody that was going to stop Joe Burrow from doing everything that he did this year.
All right, let's give Rodrigo one more.
All right, you guys for pictures.
All right, what we're about to